Okay, so today we're going to talk about 7 ways that you can slash your screen time tonight. First of all, I want to kick off by talking about why it's so important that we do get time away from screens. We know what it's like. There are those days where you get home, either you're coming home from school or from work, and it's sort of, 6, 6:30, and you crash out on the sofa after dinner at like 8 o'clock, and then suddenly you look at your phone and it's like, wow, it's nearly 10. I've lost my entire evening. All of my free time that I've got in my busy day is gone, and it's just gone straight into my phone or into my TV. You might be a parent, and by the time you put the little ones down and everyone's fed and watered and put to bed, then again, you might sit down at 8, 9 o'clock at night, you look at your phone for 45 minutes and suddenly it's bedtime, and all of our time can be sucked into our devices. First thing to note is that it's not just you, but it is your responsibility to change this. Your devices, the phone, the TV, the tablet, the laptop, they are all designed to capture our greatest resource, which is our time. Even things like the infinite scroll, if you think about social media, the scrolling up and down the Instagram newsfeed, for example, the infinite scroll that goes on forever and ever and ever is designed to keep you on that app, because if we spend more time on the app, we see more adverts, and Instagram can get more money from sponsored ads. That's literally the social media business. That's why we don't pay for accounts, because they get all of their revenue through advertising. Even things like the like, comment and share buttons, the sounds, the notifications, the hearts and the little blue thumb going up, all of that is enough of a reward for us to want to press that button. That is why we're feeling like our screens are taking up a lot of our time, and that's why it's so difficult. It's so difficult to break these habits. Social media and our devices are built to steal our greatest resource, which is our time. So what can we do about it? First of all, we need to know the stats. We need to know how much screen time we are using at the moment, how much we are using our devices. So if you go into your settings and you go into current settings and you go to screen time, you will be able to see exactly how much screen time you're using. If you are on an Android device, obviously this is an iPhone, if you go onto an Android device, you can go into digital wellbeing and you can find the same information in there. But this is a screenshot from my phone when I was away on holiday, and the week I was away on holiday, I actually used my phone 47% less than the week before, and most of that was maps and navigating and Strava and things like that. But knowing where you are is going to be really important to knowing whether the changes you're making and the things that you're putting in place are actually working. You need to know a start point if you're going to be able to measure the end point. A really interesting and slightly scary one to keep an eye out for is the pickups. Pickups refers to the amount of times that you literally pick up your phone in a day, and for me it's in the hundreds, which is quite scary. The next one then is going to be downtime. Same within your settings, you can go to downtime, and again under digital wellbeing for Android users, there are similar settings there. You go to downtime and you can set a schedule of when certain apps will become inactive, and this is really useful. You can block phone calls, you can block messages, you can block notifications, and you can keep your own peace. You can put up your boundaries for when people can contact you, and this automatically happens on your phone. We know that screen time, the blue light that our screens emit, affects melatonin. That is our sleep hormone. Melatonin usually naturally increases between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m, but if we are on our devices, this doesn't happen quite as well, so we don't feel quite as naturally sleepy, or we're utterly exhausted. We do go to sleep, but the quality of our sleep isn't as high as it could be because we've been on our devices. So that's just another reason why this is so important. Also, alongside downtime, you can go in and you can change the settings of your app, so you can have certain apps that are unavailable at certain times, you can mute certain apps, you can turn off the alerts and all these different things. You can basically set an individual downtime per app, and this is really useful. Just try setting yourself a timer for each app. So you can say, okay, Instagram, I'm allowed to spend 30 minutes on Instagram a day. Just see how quickly you hit that 30 minutes. It might just surprise you. Time goes very quickly when you're distracted by your phone. If you were to spend that same amount of time relaxing with a nice cup of something or having a conversation or playing a board game, that time would go much slower. And that takes me perfectly on to notifications. The pings, the dings, the illuminating screen that lights up, all these things are made to make you feel good, and they feel good because they give us a release of dopamine. Dopamine is that reward chemical in the brain, and they're all made to grab our attention. Same as the likes, the comments, the shares. Everything about social media is designed to give you that reward chemical in the brain. Same sort of chemical that we get when we tick things off our to-do list, same chemical we get when we eat some really tasty food like chocolate. It keeps us coming back for more. But these short, sharp signals can actually spike the cortisol in your brain, and that's the stress hormone. So if you think about the things that you see on social media, alongside the notifications, so the dings and the pings and the sounds, which cause you stress, when you go through social media, what you can see is very negative news. And we now know that the algorithms for Instagram and Facebook and things like that, they promote negativity and divisiveness, a recent study has shown. So it's really important that we know that social media is going to affect our cortisol levels, our alerts and our notifications are going to affect our cortisol levels, and we need to manage that. Cortisol is great, it has a utility in the body, it gets you up in the morning alongside sound. Those are the two things that wake you up. Sometimes small bouts of stress when they're followed by recovery, whether that's physical stress like exercise or mental stress like, your class assembly going well. That is stress and it's difficult, but if you go away and you recover, that experience gets easier, and that is a positive of cortisol. But too much and from the wrong places can be damaging. Now, once you've changed those settings and you put those things in place, it's really important that we get a goal. We need to know what we're aiming for. So I've got 4 questions that you can ask yourself. What changes do you actually want to see with your health and well-being when it comes to screen time? Do you want to be more present? Do you want to feel less stressed around your devices? Do you want fewer pickups on your phone? Do you want to spend less time on social media? What do you want to do? How are you going to make this happen? What settings are you going to change? How are you going to manage your environment? What are you going to do to make it happen? And what might get in the way? What barriers might crop up to stop you? What might you find difficult along this journey? And how are you going to overcome them? Control your environment. Are you going to ask a friend or a family member to take your phone off you or to support you, or even to set reminders and alarms and alerts to stop you going on your phone at certain times? Even things like airplane mode, turning your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth off. Little things that you can do on your devices can really, really help you to get a little bit more space and to protect your peace around your devices. Finally then, your environment. As I said before, environment is very, very important. There are lots and lots of things that you can do. A big one is going to be not charging your phone in the bedroom. And if you do, then charging your phone across the other side of the room so that you don't go up and get it, basically. If your phone is within arm's reach, it's going to be really, really easy to reach out and grab it. Remember, this is a habit that you've practiced time and time again. The connections in the brain that say, see the phone, grab the phone, or they say, sitting on the sofa, pick up the phone. Those connections in the brain are very strong. They're like super fast broadband. They are very, very quick. They are well ingrained. It's important that we realise that we may need to give ourselves time, to give ourselves space, and make sure our environment is supporting us to change those habits. Habits don't change overnight. This is going to take some time. But if it's really important to you and it's important for your physical and mental health, then it's definitely going to be a journey that is worth going on. So hopefully those tips have been really useful. Hopefully you can go away and you can put some of these things in place. Just pick one. Don't overwhelm yourself with this. Choose one thing that you are going to be putting in place for the next 7 days. See how it goes. Review it at the end of the 7 days and then come back and see if you need to tweak anything or if you need to add in a new habit. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.